Hello Cancer, how's it going? Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I'm Sarah and you've reached me here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. And we are doing new moon reads for the sign, well, it's in your sign. It's your season. Happy birthday if it's happened already, and if it's about to happen, also happy birthday. Yeah, so your time to shine and also lights out, Cancer. Um, so yeah, the sun is conjunct the moon in both for both celestial bodies in your sign, and we are going to look into that a little bit. We've got some emotional stuff going on, most likely, but it's for the best, I would say, and it's also it's also what you're all about. So you literally are in your own element, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. What else? We're gonna pull from 3 decks. I've got my new Xammer deck from Deviant Moon. I have my Deviant Moon Paradoxical Edition, and of course Mildred's Secret Pocket Oracle. So I would say that it's really important that you take care of yourself around this time, because the energies are going to be like all about you in one aspect and then also at a deficit in another, but only for a short period of time. So just following your intuition, getting into your feels, and making sure that you are focused on that. Staying focused is really important, especially if you have issues with staying focused. That can be because of anything, because you have like actual, oh, this card was flipped up. What do we got here? Piety. Piety. What does that mean? Where did you go, Oracle? So piety. That is also the word of the day that we're going to learn a little bit about. Bear with me. It's very new, this deck, so. Devotion, loyalty, religiosity. Okay, so devotion. Respect. Paying respect to ancestors, to those that have come before us, to those that have moved on. Also keeping a sacred vow or promise. Like you might have made a promise to a loved one who's passed on at this time, and you want to keep that promise more so for yourself. You want to make them proud, but it's important to you. Like it really is something that you value deeply, to keep your word, and that is hard to come by. We need some more Ned Starks out there, and it's so easy like to be flaky with your words. Like I'm the worst for that. I'm not gonna lie. But it's also like choosing to do what's right, like being virtuous with every decision that you make and not deviating, or no longer deviating. Like you made a commitment, and it doesn't necessarily have to be to a loved one in your past. This could be just a commitment to change for the better, and just sticking with that despite your circumstances or despite any type of temptations that present themselves. It's almost like the world could come crashing down and you are sticking to your guns about the ways in which you have decided to change. And that could be with anything. It could be like leveling up your behavior, switching the food that you eat, no longer interfering in other people's business or in lives, or even like the impact that you make on the earth. That's also a form of interference. The way that we consume and violate in so many different ways, overconsume and violate in so many different ways. So it really is just you making a commitment to being more sustainable and more ethical with your with your lifestyle, period. All right. Let's see. cards have to say? We got 7 of Wands on the bottom. Might be feeling a little bit lost, or feeling like you're not being challenged enough to create. May have got some writer's block action on some level, or like you're just losing your lust. So for me, that's always like either time to take a vacation or to challenge yourself. And sometimes we need some like external challenges as well. Like we need a little bit of drama or a little bit of conflict to get our creative juices flowing. And it's better to not do it that way, but it's also good to make sure that we are taking the risks that we need to take. So maybe you're getting a little too much in your comfort zone, Cancer, and you need to put yourself out there a little bit more, take a risk, try something new, and be okay with it being a dud. And, you know, sometimes people like that. People want to see you fail. Isn't that terrible? People want to see you fail. They want to see you fuck up. And it's funny. It can be funny to mess up. What else? Yeah, taking risks to try something different, I would say too. Like maybe, you know, you're doing the same old, and that's good if that's what you want to do. And you might just need to wait, sit it out. But I feel like, you know, you're going to, like, unless if you take a risk, you're not going to be able to embark on a new journey. A new spiritual adventure is going to be all about taking the risk of trying something new, and it, you know, taking a chance on whether or not it's going to be something that you like or dislike. This could even be like playing the field, like not just playing the field, but trying to at least find one person if that's something that you're interested in doing. If you might have been like, you might be tired, or you've got a lot on your plate, and you just see that there really is no room for that right now in your life. So these are things that you have to sort of, decisions that you have to outweigh. There's going to be things that you need to repurpose and put down if you want to rejuvenate and make space for new. You need to let go of a few things. It's, I don't know, I want to say it's like simple. It's like when you look at like physics and space and making room for things, and you can't fit something into somewhere that doesn't fit. It's math. I'm not the greatest at math, but I can learn it. And maybe that's a risk that you need to take, is trying something new to learn, a new way of thinking, or some new skills. And you need to do away with, be willing to let go of what is dated. Because within work and our environments and like creative projects and just actualizing our goals within our careers in general, there are old ways of thinking and doing that we need, like, things expire, policies and procedures become outdated, and we need to renew them. It's as simple as that. And there are things though that you are, I don't know, I would say that you kind of feel like something is sucking your energy. You might be like over it. You need to take a break from the PMPs. What else? I remember I was working at this job, and I was learning about policy, and that's why it's coming to my mind. And going electronic, I remember this woman was just like, she worshipped the fact that it was all electronic, because having to update bazillions of manuals within large institutions just isn't sustainable, which makes absolute sense. But she was just like stuck in this corner with like no window, and she was literally one of the most important people in the whole like system of this large institution that we were working for. It was a hospital. And I just thought, like, how is this person not gifted with being able to interact with everybody else, who she is like writing out all of the guidelines in their like daily work activities and how they proceed with situations that occur. But anyways, I digress. That was like my little tangent But maybe you just kind of need to take a break in order to get back into it, or you need to be separated from it or something, because there is a disconnect. There's a disconnect, and somebody is sucking your energy, or I would say at least nobody is trash talking you. I would say that might be difficult. If you're like committed to carrying this type of load and you're not willing to sort of change and update, I don't know, like there's some balance. There's like, I feel like there's a lot going on. Let's see what comes through next, and then we can get back to that again. But definitely an unwillingness to take on the challenge. Like you might be worried too much about what other people think as well, I would say. Stop it. Don't worry about what other people think. Fuck them if they judge you. Don't be so insecure, Cancer. All right. You're like literally one of the most secure out of all the water signs. Like you have your little shell that is like thick, and you like to live like under rocks and in shells. You're very all about, security. So don't be so insecure, because you have the capacity to create security for yourself. And on top of that, you are recognized. You're able to recognize your strengths and like also come to terms with your weaknesses. So it's almost like, it's interesting with this card here, because it's not about external recognition. I don't think you need that. I think you know that you are fully capable of doing what it is that you do, and that you're really good at what you do. I would also say that this is like an extension of this is like ancestors and like the previous yous in different lives, even if that's what you're into. You can go so far as to say that they recognize that you have come a long way, and that you have the capacity to lead and to shine and to light the way, and they're willing to follow you. You just have to take up that fucking space of saying, follow me, bitches. I'm here. I've been doing this, and I'm friggin' good at it. You could also be like the best number two. And I don't mean poo. I mean like the person that supports the one that speaks. So however you see it, however you take it, this is 100% you being able to validate yourself. And that is such an amazing strength. And this is such a perfect time for you to shine on that level. It's your season. It's your moon. It's like a renewal moon. Birth yourself. Rebirth yourself. And don't be afraid. Just do it. Stop listening to, the shitty aspect of your conscience telling you, no, just stay secure in your little shell. And start listening to, the excitement of even being afraid. Like fear and excitement physiologically are a very similar reaction that we have. So don't mistake the two. They're one and the same almost. All right. And you have been giving of yourself, and you have enough to give. You've been doing a lot of work. You could be involved in philanthropy, or just the work that you're doing is quite ethical and sustainable, and it's really creating jobs. It's giving people what they need, helping people get what they need. There's so many ways that people are in need, and that could be like financially in need. Like you could be supporting something that gives people money, or even what is it like? Residual charity, where it's items, gifted items. Sometimes they're used, sometimes they're new. Better off new at times, but also sustainability is also, reusing and making sure that things don't go to waste, right? But we don't need to dwell too much on the past here. You've been doing good in your past, and moving forward into your future, you are ready. Like, you don't have to doubt yourself. you're going to get ready, like you're going to stop doubting yourself. It's not going to be an issue for you. This is going to be you embracing your inner ninja, your dark and your light. Like your light and your shadow come together as one. We have very Gemini type energy here. This is like a self-love card, self-assurance. And this is just being powerful, a powerful warrior spirit as well, balanced in your warrior spirit. You have generosity and peace on one hand that goes along with the chaos of dealing with the challenges that come our way that we don't see. Like, we're so busy making, like, we're so at peace with ourselves, we don't really need to worry about what lies ahead. And that is the beauty. That is the beauty of the Two of Swords. And it's whatever warrior, like, are you a Viking? Are you a ninja? Are you a brave? I can't think of other warriors. It's like blank. It's like crickets. All right. The crickets, are you, what was that, Kung Fu Panda? That's funny. Who was it that did that guy's voice? Seth Rogen? Yeah. Are you like a geek warrior? Let's see here. Your attitude as it stands is... Okay, so don't forget that we are going to get to this place of mental balance, right? We might even be in it already as we progress through this reading. We're moving into it. But emotionally, there is something still that you just can't seem to let go of. Whoops, that you just can't seem to let go of for some reason, Cancer. This could be daddy issues, like are just... Oh, shit. Someone didn't want me to say that. Someone did not like that. All right. Daddy issues. Let's call it out. Or, like, daddy wasn't around. Or, daddy was fucking toxic, period, to the core. We got lots of ways in which we have not had the masculine presence that we could use in our life. And it doesn't even matter if it's like a dad or a mom, but there's just something that you're not doing to be bossing up on an emotional level within your attitude. So, how, like, somebody who's emotionally on point and accurate and just able to identify their emotions on a boss level has the mind. So you're all, like, the spirit of that is there for you. I would say that you know, emotional intelligence is not something that you are incapable of. There's just a lot maybe that you need to process. And it might be very, very overwhelming for you, which is why you might be chickening out. You might be a bit of a chicken. Bucka, bucka, buck. So, all my niche cancers out there reading this message, don't be a baka, Clay. Be an esquil. You can do it. Put your ovaries to it. All right. We got some conflict. There's some bullshit that you're dealing with. There's like some kind of asshole doesn't want to listen. Maybe you don't want to listen. Not listening. This is a very ornery individual. This could be a relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a platonic relationship. Like, this could be like some sibling rivalry, or like just some friendship falling out. Either way, in this situation, the bad outweighs the good, and people see that you This could also be how people view you because of your past in relationships, that you have had shitty experiences, you know, or they're worried that the next relationship is going to be problematic like the past one. There's so many possibilities, but I would not let the worries of others dictate how you should make your choices as you move forward through life. And maybe people see that you kind of like like you'd like to dictate a little bit too much. But I don't know. I find sometimes that when people develop a reputation like that, you know, sometimes you can be true to a certain degree where you're feisty or very like overzealous or bossy even, and outgoing, like outwardly like confrontational as well. I would say that I don't know, like it's a necessary evil. People like that, they help the world turn around, I would say. So don't change too much. If that's how you are. If stubborn and ornery gets shit done for you, like there is ways to do that a little bit more tastefully, but at the same time, you know, people who talk smack about you bitching them out or something, like my question is why? Like why were you bitching them out, and what responsibility do they have as well? Because you are a Cancer and you do have compassion and empathy. So I question people. Always. Okay. Hopes and fears are centered in being out of balance emotionally. So it's definitely a true reflection of your attitude at this time. Be careful of fulfilling your own prophecy. Be careful of fulfilling your own prophecy. Like, don't become a victim of your own pride. Look up the word hubris. Watch a translated version of Macbeth or something. Like, we don't want to be victims of our own pride. That's, I don't know, it's weak. It's weak. To be vain, to be so vain. Emotions that are attached to vanity and like narcissism, just they kill our spirit and they kill our ability to manifest. So staying balanced emotionally so that you can have positive relationships, or relationships that are based on reciprocity, and don't create, you know, situations of like bad blood or attracting like Death Eaters. Dementors. Oh. Candle went out. So you don't want it to burn out. You want a relationship that's lasting and sustainable. Oh, I see time here as well. The Devil reversed. So I would say that you're moving into a place where you're no longer attached to your vices. You're overcoming them. You're learning how to tolerate your pain so that you don't need to lash out, or not lash out. Maybe you're quitting smoking if you're a smoker. You're getting used to that. What else? Quitting smoking, could be drinking, could be overeating, getting up in people's business, but you are strong. You have tamed your inner beast. You have it under control. And you are like just basically living with it, working with it, and using it to your advantage. It's almost like you have domesticated yourself. And that's such a strength, to be domesticated. People underestimate the power of domesticity, of, you know, consistency, of having a space to call your own that is sacred. That's what everybody is like wants to achieve, and yet everybody's also so stuck on like how fucking boring the like nuclear way of life is, heteronormativity, and like you can have excitement, you can have a home, it's whatever you make of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be this cookie cutter shit. And sometimes we just have to accept the fact too that life can be boring. When you're being consistent, when you're getting things done, when you're focused and like going to bed early, waking up early, yeah, it's pretty boring, but like the payoff of, you know, of certain levels or certain types of monotony is so much better. It's like it creates other like excitement in other ways that are without parallel. So, Cancer, hats off to you. Your season is spiritually solid. Just kind of wanted to come through reverse. So make sure that you are not allowing the wrong people to follow you, that you are staying true to yourself, staying consistent, and keeping your word. All right? Happy birthday again. I really hope that you like this reading. If so, hit that like button, subscribe, follow my socials. There's links for tips, donations, and booking personal readings. Take care and bye for now.